I think we can make that.
We'll
No
see. We'll
problem.
see. We'll see how we do. So what's going
All
on in the
right.
world today? Are you excited for your next stimulus check? What are you gonna buy?
I am gonna pay some bills. I'm gonna pay some bills, and I'm also planning to take some kind of trip because I'm beyond tired of being in Los Angeles. I need to get out of here, even if it's just like going across country. I need to get out of LA. I need to get out and just go somewhere that's not here. So I'm gonna use some of my stimulus money for that. So I'm super excited. When are we supposed to get it?
I don't know. I keep trying to read up on that a little bit. But then I stop because like I don't want to sort of like plan on this money or like plan my life. Because they have some roadblocks and stuff, like they're not just passing it immediately, and so I don't know, it doesn't seem so definite. Now I know that Joe Biden signed some executive orders, and I hope one of those is that stimulus check. I know Congress is not getting it done.
No, it just like restarted itself.
Yeah, you just disappeared and turned into the little photo of you.
It
Now you're
like
back
kicked me
though.
back. It kicked me out. It kicked me back in. But okay. Did you hear the last thing I said?
Mm-mm.
I said, "What are you gonna? When are we supposed to get the stimulus checks?"
Oh, I don't know. That's what I was talking about. That I keep not reading further because they haven't given any kind of definite news on that, and so I don't want to like plan my life like I'm getting this money because anything could happen. Really, I don't
That's
trust it.
smart because we were supposed to get the second stimulus check for months. They were like, "When is it coming? You're gonna get it soon," and it was like half a year later, more than half a year later,
Right,
which is so crazy.
right.
We didn't get it till the end of the year, and then Trump for in November was like, "Oh, I'll give it to you after you reelect me." Like what? So you've had the authority, the ability to give us the stimulus check, but you have just been waiting for the election. I'm a little bit more optimistic now because it is Biden, and he has said a lot of things that he's going to do for the American people, and I'm going to be optimistic until there's a reason not to be.
Yeah, I think we will get some kind of stimulus check. That would be crazy if not, and I'll be surprised if it's less than $1,400 for the people who are poor. Like, I think there are like some people in Congress, like in the Senate, are blocking it. I know that one senator from Maine, Susan Collins, she's like, oh, it's not targeted enough. Like trying not to give it to everybody who makes below 75,000 or whatever. It's just stupid. Just get it out there, and
Get
I
it
think,
out there.
and it's interesting. Like the news headlines are just not really about that specifically. They're like talking about other things, and there's some COVID relief package that they're debating, and then he is just signing a bunch of executive orders because the package is like stalled um, in the Senate. So he's just doing some things as executive orders. I don't know if that 1,400 or the stimulus is like part of that. Like I haven't seen that, but it's just because I've been lazy to read. Because like I said, I want it to seem like a bonus and a gift from
Yeah,
heaven, a gift from
I learned
baby Jesus.
I've learned from the last one not to get my hopes up until like they've actually signed something because even before they talked about it and people are like, no, no, you guys need to revise this, revise that. So until it's in the final stages, I'm not really gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm about to spend this money.
Right. So on that note, where are you going to go on your trip? What are
When
some
I
ideas?
do when I do get the money, I don't know, maybe like Miami. I'd like to go somewhere
Ooh.
with a nice warm beach.
Okay. Yeah, these California beaches are cold as hell.
Especially right now. It's like 50 degrees outside.
Yes.
Which is California cold, but In the rest of the world, they be wearing shorts.
I'm wearing shorts, but also like in the 7. I've been here for the past 7 winters in a row, and
Wow.
and this is definitely the coldest one here.
This is crazy cold, and it's really surprising because it's sunny outside. Like right now, it's beautiful. The sun is out, but it's brisk. The wind is blowing. You need a coat, a decent coat, some gloves, a hat, scarf. You're gonna get blown away.
uh,
Mm-mm. So did you read this? Okay, I've been reading about different stuff that's been going on since Trump got out of office, but they tried to get him up on some charges because he didn't set up a fund while he was in office. He was continuing to run his business and collect money from companies both foreign and domestic while he was president.
I thought
So
the
they
Supreme
tried,
Court dismissed it.
and the Supreme Court dismissed it. So how do you feel about that? Do you think they should have pressed charges out against him? Or you think that that's justified? Or maybe they dismissed that because they know they have a stronger case against him for something else.
What? The Supreme Court is like half appointed by him, and they're
Yeah.
not gonna. Yeah, I think for the most part, uh, in those suits and stuff, he's gonna get by. Yeah, and that was that emoluments clause
Yes.
thing. The emoluments clause itself, like the wording is really vague. It's like you're not supposed to, you know, you're not supposed to profit off the office of the president or something is what it's like intended for,
Yes.
but it doesn't really read like that. Like it reads much more vague, and that's why they couldn't even do anything really. It's like it doesn't say that. It
Yeah,
doesn't
and
say
they
what
even like
we
just
think it says.
they even dismissed all the cases in the lower courts that were against Trump too. They're like, oh, anything else where in the lower courts where other judges had previously sided against him, they dismissed those too.
Mm-hmm.
So he's free and clear as far as the emoluments clause goes, which is, I feel like that's part of the reason why he got those people into the Supreme Court. He's like, okay, when I get out of here, I need to have some people that have my back.
Oh, totally. I mean, they're basically able to have his back until it's something like so extreme that they can't ignore, which may come up. I mean, there's impeachment going on next week, etc. I mean, I think it's bullshit that the dude builds a hotel in Washington D.C. and that's where
Yes.
all these diplomats stay, and he profited a ton off the presidency, and his kids did, and he will for life, and other people do too. I mean, obviously, past presidents go do speaking engagements and stuff like that. They get to do that because they're past presidents. They write a book, people will buy it.
Mm-hmm.
So there's definitely.
Most presidents don't build a hotel across from the White House while they're president.
Yeah.
And like, oh yeah, you should stay in my hotel if you want to come visit me. I'll let you stay in my hotel if you want to come visit me.
Right,
and their children who are in no way, shape, or form previously involved in politics are out here in senior advisory roles in the White House. Like, I've never seen anything like that. You've seen like the Bush twins be sloppy and getting drunk, but not, okay, let's invite the whole family to come work for the White House. I'm sure that's what a lot of people would have liked to have done. Or maybe they had like put people in positions, but not so obvious.
Yeah,
they try to be a little bit more circumspect.
Well, I mean, that's not so clear. Like, so the Bush twins, they were like teenagers when he wasn't obvious, so they couldn't work there, and neither could like Chelsea Clinton. You look at like John F. Kennedy, he appointed his brother attorney general.
He did.
So there's definitely like cases. But, I mean, his brother was also a lawyer and like.
That's what I was gonna say. He was much more qualified than say like an Ivanka.
Right. Yeah, Ivanka and Jared, man, those two are just mind-blowing. I mean, spend too much time thinking about people like that. It just makes you want to like explode. Really makes your brain explode.
I'm not going to split at this point because I'm just happy that he's out of the White House and that we're moving forward with something else.
Yeah, all those people are
Like,
gone,
I
and
have,
you can feel it like this week, like they're just not in the news, and it's just the
mm-hmm,
air is a little clearer, because before it was like you couldn't do anything without seeing one of their stupid faces, doing
mm-hmm,
something, and that. Mhm.
and you just had to deal with it. You're like, okay, this crazy thing is happening, but no, nothing's going to be done. It just is what it is.
Mhm. Yeah, you're just force spoon for them because they were the people in power, I guess, and that makes sense. Is like that's why they're getting the coverage, and now they're not, and it is like, yeah, it's just nice to not have them around.
Yes. Did you see the videos of people flying the banners over Mar-a-Lago?
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
What
That
did
was
some of them
hilarious.
say? I don't remember what they said.
Just like Trump sucks. No one likes you. Just like mean, mean things that people probably would have written about him on social media, but now they're flying it on banners and helicopters over his hotel. So like, and I was reading this other article and was saying that Trump has never been this alone before. Like
Uh-huh.
all of his cronies that used to follow him while he was president, trying to get something from him, have like abandoned him because he doesn't
Right.
have the power anymore. So they've just kind of left him. And then people that were cronies of his before he was president, they're like, oh no, we see you are legit crazy. So he's just all alone with his money and his family, which is still not completely alone. He still has a lot of influence. He still has a lot of power. He's just kind of been cut off from social media right now, which I don't think they're going to have him banned from everything forever. We'll see. We'll see how the impeachment goes.
Yeah, it's hard to make that prediction. I mean, I could see him. First of all, I don't think that social media as we know it is truly going to be around forever. Like things change, companies go away. That's the nature of capitalism. Technology is going to change. Every time I talk about this, people get so defensive. They're like, I'm like, Instagram's not going to be, the thing we use in a bunch of years. There's going to be something else. And people are like, no, no, Instagram's going to be around forever. It's like, no. I mean, MySpace is gone. CDs are
Yeah,
gone, cassette tapes, VHS,
and
like,
Facebook isn't what it was. The kids are on TikTok nowadays. They're not on Facebook. Facebook is for your parents. So
right,
there's going to be
Facebook could go
some new
away.
thing.
Totally. Totally. And even just like the fact that social media exists the way it does is because, we have the phones. And like if we do get something else besides the phones, let's say you do have like a microchip in your wrist that's not like a screen
Yeah.
that you're carrying in front of you all the time, well, then maybe you're not going to be posting as much, or who knows, like
Oh,
we have this culture right now of what we're doing, but in the 90s or early 2000s, or you weren't you weren't doing this stuff. Humans can't
not at
exist
all.
without it, not at all. And
If you
humans
had
now think
wanted to
that.
take if you
Mhm.
wanted to take a picture back then, you had to actually have a camera, take the picture, get it developed, and then have friends come over and show them your pictures.
Right, yeah, you just show people your pictures. Also, like even with cell phones at first, like photos kind of sucked, like you would take a photo
Yeah.
with your cell phone, but it would be kind of like I feel like there was this like kind of weird period of time where people weren't, there's like not a lot of photos that exist,
Uh-huh.
because people stopped using cameras and were trying to use their phones, but the phones kind of sucked, and then all those phones kind of got thrown in the garbage and didn't get backed up. So I feel like there's this like 2005 to 2010 time where there's just like less photos. I mean, I guess Facebook was a thing then, but it was just you weren't taking as many photos with your phone. Photos with your
We
phone
were
really.
taking we were taking pictures because that's like kind of like the time where I was in college. Like
Hmm.
I was in I started like being on Facebook in like 2007 when
Right.
I graduated from high school, and like we were taking pictures with our phones. phone, but we were messy. So those pictures are out there, but they're like deep in the Facebook web. Because back in the day, what we would do is we'd have a night out and we'd take pictures of everything that happened that night and put all the pictures on Facebook. So now Facebook owns all your messy 19-year-old, 18-year-old, 17-year-old pictures that like no one should see. But Facebook owns all these pictures somewhere in the server. There's pictures of you holding your friend's hair back while she's throwing up.
Right.
But yeah, they're not good quality pictures. They're not good quality pictures at all. The only ones that exist are like people's grainy bathroom mirror pictures and like your phone's all huge. You got that flip phone. You thought you were cute with your emo bangs. It was a bad time for pictures.
Yeah, I forgot that fact that like Facebook, I think technically like owns your pictures when you upload it to their site. I mean, you own them too, but like they can do whatever they want with them, really.
Oh yeah.
And even if you're not, like, I'm not on Facebook anymore, but I know pictures of me exist on Facebook just because like my family's on Facebook and my friends, you know, my past is on Facebook. And I think that, you know, people can like drag their arrow over me and it'll still say maybe Jacob Gruen or whatever. You know what I mean? Like Facebook still identifies me even though I'm not on there.
I remember, so like if the person wasn't on Facebook, you would just put their name in. And then eventually if they joined, they could like, you know, have that be tagged to their account. But until then, it's just gonna say Jacob or Ballin BJ, whatever they decide to tag you as in that picture.
Right. Ballin BJ?
I don't know. I don't know what your Facebook name was. You know, back then people had like weird Facebook names, like thinking about the money.
Yeah.
Chelsea, like, you know.
My MySpace page like still exists on the internet. I tried deleting it once. It like I couldn't figure it out, and so it's just there. Like you can Google me and it'll come up eventually. And my it's like my site is www.myspace.com/vodka grape juice.
Vodka grape juice. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Like what? Like at the time you're like young, you're not really thinking. You're just like, oh, this is fun and that's a dope name. People are gonna love it.
Right.
Like, yeah. And no one's thinking, oh, I'm gonna need to delete this later because I don't want my prospective careers and job sites to Google me and see, oh yeah, this girl's a wino. It's just up there for the world to see. I don't know if my MySpace has been deleted. It's probably just out there, forgotten. I know it was just, I just had like, you know, the top 5 songs. Like I had the Pussycat Dolls on my page and I thought it was so cool and edgy. And I had like, it was a picture of me with like a fitted on. And I had my school uniform and I had like one of those studded belts around my waist and skater boy shoes on. Cause I was like, ooh, I'm like a cool, edgy skater kid in my school uniform though. You know, with the school uniforms, you just add little touches to show you're a rebel.
Right. I never
That's
really.
all you need.
Okay. Wow.
Oh, you found it? Did you find the pictures?
I found not you. I was like finding me and how similar I look to like the moment right now. Like this is my MySpace profile photo.
Oh my God, Jacob, why do you look exactly the same? Oh wow, you just need to be like a little bit more clean shaven, and that's you. Like I feel like you wore that shirt like last week.
I don't have that shirt or that hat anymore, unfortunately.
You stayed true to your brand though.
Here's a joke photo that I took, but it exists on the internet and I can't get rid of it.
Oh my gosh. Like you look like someone's uncle from the 70s.
Right. Wow. My dad had these like old glasses and so I took them. They're like from the 70s or 80s or whatever. And
wow.
And I just did my hair like that for this photo as a joke, and now it's on the internet.
If you showed that to me and told me, oh yeah, I look just like my uncle Antwerp, and here's a picture of him, I would have believed you. I'd be like, oh wow, you do look a lot like your uncle. I can see the resemblance.
Like your Uncle Antwerp.
I just made up an old timey name, but yeah.
Antwerp, city in Belgium.
See, there you go. It's a nice real name.
It might be the capital. Hold on. It's a city and the capital of Antwerp province in the Flemish region of Belgium. Belgium is split into two, really.
Really?
Yeah, there's like a French speaking and then there's Flemish speaking. And Flemish is like this other culture and other language, and like they've tried, there's like separatists, like they want their own independence from Belgium. I think they speak French in the other part.
Yeah, they do. Because,
Mm-hmm.
during my French studies, we learned a lot about Belgium, about French speaking Belgium. Like,
Mm-hmm.
they always teach you about the places you can go with the language and be able to get around. And Belgium was one of them. Like, yeah, you could go get to some waffles. Like, okay. That's whenever they have two different languages in one country, I do get why somebody would want to split apart. Have you ever heard anyone speak Flemish? It doesn't sound like the sexiest of languages.
I have heard Flemish before. I think it's kind of sounding a little bit, I mean, to my ears, I guess like Scandinavian Welsh kind of thing because it's up there. So I associated with
Okay.
that. So I think that they're more.
You hear Flemish,
Yeah, it sounds like phlegm.
you hear the word Flemish, and you just think of phlegm. You're like, you got something in your throat. So is
Huh.
that what it sounds like? Is that where the word comes from? You're like,
No, because they're spelled different,
I
and
just
like
told you hello.
they're spelled differently. Because phlegm, the out in your throat is PHLEGM, is how you spell it, and Flemish, the people are FLEM.
I like this cultural educational period that we're having. Let me look up how to say something in Flemish so we cannot offend our Flemish audience.
Yeah, great idea. Yeah, I hear that too. Like if language is an issue in a country, it would be desirable to split or whatever. America doesn't have, or the United States does not have an official language, I guess. Like, and it's
Oh, we don't? I thought English
no,
was the official.
nope.
Oh,
No, so anytime people are like, go speak your own language and go back to your country, it's bullshit. There's no official language.
which doesn't make sense because hello, like the native peoples were here first. The native peoples were here first, and then it's like, come on, they could tell us to go back to where we're from. They're not like that. They should. But okay, Flemish for welcome. It's very hard to understand. Pay close attention.
Okay.
Welcome.
Nice.
Welcome.
You nailed it.
Welcome. Can you guess what I am saying? I'm not just speaking with accent. That's really what it is. Welcome. So I guess it's too hard. And hello is hey, Helgen dog.
Hey, how junk dog?
Hey, Helgen dog. It's their general greeting. Hey, Helgen dog.
Are you sure that's how they pronounce it, or you're reading the pronunciation?
Ho, hoi, zin, dog. Hoi, zin, dog. Hoisen dog. Hey, Hoisen dog. I don't know. I might be really flubbing up this Flemish, but I feel like I might be doing it.
Are you?
And how are you? Oi, voice or oi?
Okay.
How are you? Oi.
Perfect.
Now we're ready to go to Belgium.
To Antwerp we go.
To Antwerp.
I would love to
I
go
know
to
a little
Belgium,
bit
actually.
of French. I would too. It goes back to my previous statement. I'm ready to get out of here.
Oh, I just got my email that my EU passport came and I need to go pick it up. I need to go make an appointment. I'm going to do that after this.
Whoa, so you legit might be able to go to Belgium if you got an EU passport.
I mean, you can go there with the
welcome
US
back.
passport.
Yeah. I don't know the restrictions right now, for people not letting Americans in because of COVID, but
I
They'll
think
be
they
welcoming you more so.
right now they're not letting anybody from Europe here. Like Biden just signed an order.
Really?
Yeah, that's like all of Europe
Well,
and Brazil and South Africa.
wow.
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of needed that. We've needed that for a while for us to not be letting people in so our COVID numbers can get down. Like, it's not really the time to let new people in to travel and then take our virus back home or bring their virus here. Like the South African strain and the British strain that they're talking about is so much more contagious.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not more deadly, but it's even more contagious. So maybe before you were sitting in a room, you might infect 4 people, but now everybody in the room is going to get it.
Right.
So I can understand.
I saw a funny article. It made me laugh. I've already been doing this or whatever, but the headline of the article said why it's time to start doubling up on your mask and wear 2 masks at once.
Yeah.
And I was like, the people like the anti-mask crowd is gonna see this headline and just lose their minds. They're like telling us
Oh,
to wear
yeah.
2 masks now. I already kind of do
Now
that.
they're
I'll wear
going
a
to.
surgical mask inside my cloth mask because then you have to the cloth mask. If you it gets stinky. Like you gotta clean it all the time. But if you wear the paper one on the inside, then you can throw that one away, and then your outside one kind of stays cleaner.
That's great advice. I typically just swap out my mask each day. But yeah, I read that. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start doubling up. I already do that. I do the surgical mask with the cloth mask when I go to the grocery store because they're talking about how COVID is everywhere at the grocery store. If you've gone to the grocery store, you've been exposed to COVID.
Who says
Like,
that?
okay. I read an article about it. They were saying that that's one of the hotbeds for COVID. And when I had a family member that got COVID, and one of the things that they told them was that make sure you don't go to the grocery store, because one thing that people were telling them was that after they were getting tested for COVID and finding out that they were positive, they were going to the grocery store, these COVID positive people, to stock up on food. Because either they didn't have someone to do the shopping for them, or just it's more convenient to do it yourself. But that's been a common thing that the nurses said that people have been doing is finding out that they're COVID positive, and then they just go to the grocery store. Like, I need groceries. I got to stock up. I'm going to be at home for 2 weeks. But that trip, you're exposing all these people.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just like with COVID, there is an honor system. Like, no one's like low jacking you after they find out you're positive. It's like, okay, just stay home.
I mean, I was thinking for myself, even myself, like if I tested positive, it would be really hard for me to completely stay in my room the whole time. Like even if I have stuff delivered, just the way that my house is, I don't know. It'd be very challenging to get it done and not expose anybody. Like I have to move my vehicle so that I don't get a ticket for street sweeping. I have to. I live in a way that you can't just leave food outside my apartment. For me. I mean, you can. I guess I could watch out the window and then I could go out there and get it once they leave it and not contact that way. But in my trip to go get that, I may pass other neighbors who live in my building and my roommate, obviously, who I have. You know? I mean, my roommate wouldn't stand a chance. He would just have it.
No, you guys are living together, and that's just you guys. He's gonna get exposed. I feel like a good thing to do, because they do have it right now at Ralph's. It's free for all orders over $35. Is the pickup. For the pickup orders, you just order it online and then just pop your trunk. The guy comes out, puts the stuff in your trunk, closes it. There you go. You guys don't have to come in contact. He's just putting the stuff in your trunk, and then he's leaving. You no contact. You already paid. You just tell them I'm in parking spot number 4, and then you just drive straight home. And you got all the groceries you needed. Ralph's has pretty much a lot of stuff, kind of like a CVS. and you're not paying this huge delivery fee.
Yeah, that's nice. You said it's if on orders over $35 and it's free, they don't charge anything.
No,
That's nice of
not
them.
at all. Not at all. It's really great. That's what I've been doing for all of my bigger orders. I have been going to the grocery store when I need like just one or two things,
Mm-hmm.
but whenever I need to like, okay, it's going to be a big trip. I just do it online, and it's so easy. Saves you so much time because you're making your list on your phone and you're just putting the order in on your phone, and then when you're outside, you just tell them, "Oh, I'm here," and they just tell them your parking spot. Guy comes out. All right. Super simple. I feel like a lot of people don't know about it, or maybe they don't know that it's free for a certain amount. Because even when I do it, I don't see a lot of people doing it, and it's free. Saves you trips.
That's a good deal. To change the subject, have you been keeping up with? Have you watched like the last couple Uncle Roger videos? And the color orange.
Hey, the last Uncle Roger video I watched was the one where he made the fried rice with the chef.
Okay, gotcha. So you haven't seen anything post or like the drama. That was the last one that he made before like all his drama happened.
No, I have not seen post the drama with the Chinese guy. Can you tell? I don't know what was the drama. Can you explain it for me?
Yes, it's a little confusing, honestly. Nobody really knows exactly why, but so the week after that video that you saw where he makes his own fried rice, his next video after that was he did a collaboration video with this guy, Mike Chen is his name, who also has a YouTube channel. It's called it's something dumpling. It's mostly food stuff. I can't remember what his channel's called, but there's dumplings in the title. Anyway, they do a collab video where they critique this other guy making fried rice. This Filipino chef makes fried rice, and they burn him pretty bad. Like the guy is kind of a little clumsy and stuff, and whatever. But just kind of a typical video. Nothing weird about it. I would say my only critique of it, I was like almost like, oh, they were almost like too mean to the guy. They should have given him a break.
Yeah.
But other than that, there was, it was very mundane, typical Uncle Roger video, not to call it mundane or whatever. So then like a couple weeks later happened, and all of a sudden Uncle Roger takes down the YouTube video from all social media sites and issue this statement saying like, it's been brought to my attention about some of Mike Chen's views on China, his incorrect views about China is like what the quote is. And in light of that, I've decided to like take down my videos. I apologize, But that was it. Like nobody. It's like so. Michael Chen he's part of this political party in China, and the political party is a little bit like it's unclear exactly what they stand for. Like some people in the political party are like very far right and Donald Trump supporters.
No.
But some of them are also like more. So the Chinese government in the last 50 years has like erased Chinese ancient history and done other things.
What?
Yeah, like they've replaced it with this new like communist ideology, like Chairman Mao, the Cultural Revolution, like wiped away all these artifacts and stuff, and that philosophy continues today. Like there's still this state, that's why China exists the way it does right now. It's really like a new culture that's rebuilding itself from almost nothing. So they've destroyed and they neglect their historical past, and they also do things like deny, like that Tiananmen Square thing where the guy stands in front of the tank, that famous photo that we see. So in China, kids are not taught that ever happened. It's basically been erased from history. Yeah, like nobody's ever seen that photo. People who are our age don't even know that like happened.
Wow.
Yes. So this party that this dude is part of, they are like against that, as well. You know, they're like, China has a history, it should be taught, and, you know, you are silencing us, you know. So
Okay.
the party is like, it seems to be a wide scope of things, like many things are.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's kind of it. That's the only like real controversy about this Mike Chen guy, is that, and sometimes he criticizes China's behavior, but not like in any way that like I wouldn't criticize China's behavior, you know.
Okay.
So Uncle Roger just took it down, and everybody was like, "What the hell? Like, why?" You know, because there's nothing in their video together that talks about China or knocks China or does anything. So
Mhm.
everybody's like, "Why did Uncle Roger?" Basically, people were mad because they're like, "Uncle Roger is China's bitch." You know, he just did whatever
Mhm.
the communist government said and like took his video down. Why? You know?
I saw so many articles talking about Uncle Roger this and calling him by his real name, and
Mm-hmm.
they're like Nigel Ing,
Nigel Ng.
Nigel Ng, and they
Mm,
were. I was like, wow, like in places where I would have never seen, well, normally would not see any mention of Uncle Roger. I was seeing articles about Uncle Roger and this huge Chinese video controversy. And I'm like, wow, what did he do? And they're like, he took this video down. I'm like, that's it? Okay. I okay. It seems like he just took a video down. Why is it such a big thing? But yeah, the fact that you say he called it the guy's views incorrect.
right. And then, and he didn't say anything to the guy. Like, he just took the videos down. You know, the guy later
Mm-hmm.
stated, like, Uncle Roger just took him down. He didn't say anything to me. And then there's all this speculation, right? So the week later, Uncle Roger does a video where he's commenting on his Reddit posts, because there's an Uncle
Uh-huh.
Roger subreddit. And
Yeah.
and there he kind of addresses it, and he's like, "Look, I know there's a lot of negative posts." I mean, he's talking his Uncle Roger voice. There's a lot of negative posts on the subreddit, but I'm just gonna skip those, you know. And I don't want any drama, and that's like, Uncle Roger is supposed to be comedy, no drama. That's about all he said, you know, which
Okay.
isn't a lot, you know. It's sort of like,
That's
okay,
not, and I understand that because Uncle Roger he's reviewing fried rice videos. He's not out here trying to, liberate a country. I understand why he's like, okay, let's get away from the politics and just focus more on the fried rice.
right.
But
The thing,
maybe he had people commenting. Maybe he got a lot of hate and messages that we never got to see
well, so
related
people
to him
did
making a
say
video with that guy.
on the Chinese social media site, which is what's called like Weibo or Huawei, or I don't know what the
Yeah,
Chinese
Weibo.
Weibo, yeah.
Weibo.
So I guess on Weibo there was like a few people there being like, you know, that's where there was some backlash about it. The
Okay.
thing was that I guess on Weibo he has like a tenth of the following that he has on like YouTube and stuff like that, you know? So it's like a very small faction percentage wise of people watching him that like pointed out this like Mike Chen supposed issue or whatever. You know, for the most part,
Okay.
nobody noticed until Uncle Roger himself brought it up. There's some speculation that like maybe Uncle Roger has some family, Nigel has some family that, you know, has some business in China or something like that, and the Chinese government threatened that, you know.
That's understandable.
It does to me
That's
seem like there's some more, you know, I don't think Uncle Roger came to this conclusion on his own just because some people complained on Weibo. That just doesn't seem real. I feel like some
yeah.
other power, I don't know. I'm not saying he got threatened necessarily, you know, who knows? It could be anything.
Mhm.
But something more than just like, oh, these, because every YouTuber is getting negative comments all the time, you know, and especially
Exactly.
him. He's got thousands upon thousands of comments that he can't even read and get through worldwide. You know what I mean? Like, he's just,
Mhm.
so why this like particular thing? Because there's all kinds of other
Yeah.
things
And
about him being like a racist character, him being like mean to other, you know, the other YouTubers that he rips on, it, and just the way he
mhm.
treats people is kind of like, it's borderline. That's what makes it funny. You know what I mean? Because it's like
Yeah.
pushing the envelope where he almost is like insulting somebody or whatever.
And he's putting the disclaimer out there that this is supposed to be comedy. This is supposed to be in good fun. Like nobody really rail on these people. We're all just having a good time. But I feel like something definitely had to have happened behind the scenes that we didn't see, whether it was a threat or whatever. We don't know. Maybe it's comments. Maybe his mom didn't like it. We don't know.
Yeah, right.
I feel like something happened behind the scenes. His auntie was like, Nige, I don't really like that. And he's just like, you know what, Grandma, I'm going to take it down. But clearly something happened, especially the speed with which he took it down. Somebody said something was done. But that's his prerogative if he doesn't want to have this video up. I mean, that's his right. He can feel how he feels. I feel like we need to just get back to the comedy and enjoy Uncle Roger for what it is, the beautiful, lighthearted critique of different fried rice videos.
I just sent you an article about that includes his statement is in the article. Just whenever, you don't have to look at it now, but
I'll check it out.
Yeah, just so you can read his statement at some point, because I think that's very telling. And he has gone back to making, I mean, he's made a couple normal videos, but he looks a little stressed out. It looks like somebody's on the other side of the camera, like holding a gun to him.
Oh, no.
And being like, keep making these videos and make them family friendly.
No, Uncle Nige. Like, yeah, make them family friendly. He has been making like, he had made a comment about I don't know if you saw his fried rice video, but he was like, oh, this is talking about how moist the rice was. It was like, this is the wettest thing I've touched since Auntie Helen left.
Yeah, he's
like, sorry, kids, it's supposed to be family friendly. So I feel like he does kind of skirt the line from time to time.
Well, he says swear words a lot and stuff. There's some like outtake where he talks about that for a second. He's like, I know it's still supposed to be family friendly, even though like I'm swearing and say these like dirty jokes. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's like, is it actually like, would you watch this with your 6-year-old? Like, probably not.
Exactly. No, I watched it with my mom, and she like fell in love with Uncle Roger.
Yes, I watched it with my mom too. She thought it was funny. I could see like with your 12 or 14-year-old, like
yeah. With your teenage kid, because that's what the teenage kids are watching anyway.
Yeah.
Whether you're watching with them or not, so.
That's what a lot of people said about like his whole thing. Is that like, oh, most of his viewers aren't going to care about this political stuff anyway. They're just kids who want like a funny thing. They don't know anything about any of this stuff. And his subscriber count is like throughout all this has just been growing anyway. Like nobody cares.
Yeah, I noticed that. And like, honestly, this has been, like I said, I saw things about him on places where, my algorithm isn't telling me to put Uncle Nigel in my feed. It just was in my feed. I'm like, I'm sure he's getting tons of new people because they're like, who's this guy?
Right.
And then they actually watch his videos and they're like, this dude's freaking funny. It's great publicity.
True.
Who knows? Maybe that's why he took down the video. He had a master plan. He got a new publicist. Gotten over 3 million followers. He's got a good publicist now. He's like, you know what? We need to do something political just to make you fiery, and then we'll get back to the comedy, and you'll have 5 million subscribers.
Yeah, maybe it could all be like a ruse, although it's doubtful in this case. Yeah,
I'm all here for the conspiracy theories.
Right.
I'm all here for it.
Messing with like the Communist Party of China when you don't need to, and getting their attention is probably not what you want.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Fuyo. Hiya. Fuyo is good.
Hiya. I don't think that's safe for your family that lives in China. Hiya. China doesn't play that mess.
No.
Mm-mm. No, I've been watching this show on Amazon called Flack. It's a new show, and it's about the PR people. That's part of the reason why I was like, ooh, maybe as a good publicist, I'm seeing some of
Gotcha.
the fake world of being a publicist, what they come up with, and they just like it's all about strategies. How can we spin this to make it work for you?
Uh-huh.
And now he is an online celebrity, so I wouldn't be surprised if he does have some kind of a PR team now. He's making some money. He has his endorsements.
He
He
has a
has his
team.
MSG.
He's had a team, I mean, because he was already a somewhat famous stand-up comedian, so he didn't make any of those videos on his own. Like, he always had an editor. He's always paid somebody
Mm-hmm.
to edit. And he just released another, like, this editor that was editing for him just made a YouTube video titled Why I Quit Editing for Uncle Roger. And you think it's going to be like,
Really?
yeah, you think it's going to be something all spicy and shit, but it's not. He's just like, oh, I want to go back to college and I'm kind of tired of editing and yeah. And he's like, and I asked for double my rate, and Uncle Roger didn't want to pay it, so no. I was like, oh my god, this is such bullshit. I was like, I wanted you to be like,
he got so many views with that title.
you did. And then he talks
And
about,
you watched it.
yeah, totally. Well, I wanted info on this whole nonsense going on, right? Because that's like
Exactly.
tied to that. And then
That'd be a little spicy.
yeah. There was like no insight. It was just like the guy making a video telling you that you should like never give up on your dreams. Like that was the point of the video. And I was like,
Well,
that's not what I came here for.
That's nice. It's inspirational. Hey kids, stay focused. Stay focused on your dream and never give up. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna and desert you. You got Rick rolled. It's in.
Nice. That's awesome.
That was so funny.
That's a great way to end our podcast today. I know we could keep talking forever, but we've already been talking for like a solid hour, and I think that Rick Astley is a good place to end.
Yes, it is. Well, I could talk to you two forever, Jacob, but this has been a great episode of Internet Anytime National Information Society podcast.
Ding.